Well, we had we were originally on orders to go to Germany. That was when they put the wall up in Germany, between East and West Germany. And then there was quite a bit of unrest in the South here in the United States, so they pulled us off of that duty and started training us as riot control specialists. And it was President Kennedy was the president at that time, and he designated the 503rd as the riot control personnel for his administration. And that's when we ended up with some things that happened in the South, and the big thing was they had a young man named James Meredith that was a black gentleman that was trying to enroll at Ole Miss University there in Oxford, Mississippi. There were no blacks in Ole Miss at that time. He applied, and they turned him down, I think, for a year or two, but finally it went through the president's office, and he said he has the right to go to school there. And as he has that right, we're going to send him. And that's how we got involved in it. The night that they had him to go in to enroll at Ole Miss University, they had a riot trying to keep him from enrolling there at Ole Miss University. And the 503rd MP group was the one that went in to quell the riot. And there was an administration building there that was, they were doing a lot of work and so forth on and around it, and that's where it all happened. They called it the Lyceum there at Ole Miss University, and the riot started right there. And they took our A company out of the 503rd, were helicoptered in from Millington Air Force Base in Memphis, Tennessee, into Oxford, Mississippi, and they were the original ones that went in on the riot. When this first started, though, they sent the orders to the 503rd MP Battalion in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and told them that we were to go to Oxford, Mississippi for duty to quell a riot, or if one developed, that we were to take care of it. But the orders came down, and it said you must send all your white soldiers and leave your black or colored soldiers at home. This order came down 7 different times, and the 503rd, what they had done is they refused the order because of the fact that 40% of our group was black, and we were all one group. They told the president, if we go, we're going to take them all, because you're going to strip us of a lot of non-commissioned officers and that by not doing it. And after the 7th time, they said, take them and go, because they knew they were going to need it. And they originally had tried to quell the riot with U.S. Marshals, and there was 100 and some of those on the campus there and that night, and 2 of them were killed. This is the first thing that's one of the few times that this has probably ever been discussed, because they kept that quiet until the year 2000. That there was nothing was said about the loss of life there or what was going on, but they lost 2 of them. And on our way in a convoy from Memphis to Oxford, Mississippi, we were stopped, and they issued live ammunition to all the rest of the guys that were the MPs that were in the convoy, and that was the first time that had ever happened in the United States, or I don't know whether it even has since. But I know at that time that was the first time that they'd ever issued live ammunition to take care of this thing. And we proceeded on into Oxford, Mississippi, and several times we were confronted with the state patrol out of Mississippi, and every time we'd get stopped, they'd tell us that the governor doesn't want the military there, and under the circumstances, our executive officer, Colonel or Major Levan, told him, he said, these are federal troops, and the governor doesn't have a whole lot to say about it. We're dispatched to go to Oxford, Mississippi, and we're going. And one place there, they had the road blocked with patrol cars, and he lined up what we called a deuce and a half or a 2.5 ton truck that had a .45 caliber machine gun mounted on the top of it with a guy to man it, and several jeeps. And when he started through, he told them, you've got so many minutes to get out of the road, or if you don't get out of the road, we're going to knock you out. And under the circumstances, just when the truck started forward, the highway patrolmen started getting rid of their vehicles and getting them off the road, and we went on through. We never got stopped again until we got into Oxford, Mississippi, and anything in the South other than being slaves, and that's what it come down to. And but there again, this is a story that I don't think has ever been told, other than when it was written into the book, and I don't know how much of those were sold or anything. But while my one son, who graduated from here at Mason, was at Eastern Kentucky University, he was telling his social studies teacher about all of this, and he asked me to come down and talk to them. And when I did, you could tell that they didn't believe what I was telling them, that we had live ammunition and all this stuff went on, and that there was anybody killed there. And finally, in 2000, the book came out that verified everything, and it was verified through the military, and that's the biggest part of the story. I thought everybody ought to know that this happened, because today, you never think about it. There's probably half the students at Ole Miss University today are probably black, and they deserve to be there just as much as the white kids did. So that was kind of the story that I wanted to get told. I never went out of the country for anything, but I thought I'd done quite a bit here in the U.S. to fulfill my part of being in the military service.